The tragic death of Ted Cassidy. Lurch from Addams Family. Sadly, he was only 46. Ted Cassidy is remembered for his role of Lurch on the show The Addams Family. Cassidy was born Theodore Crawford Cassidy on July 31, 1932, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, U.S., and he spent his early years in Philippi, West Virginia. Not much is known about his parents. As a child, he was academically good. He reached high school at an early age. He was fond of playing basketball and football. However, he was often bullied by his seniors because of his extraordinary height. He was already 6'1" tall in school. After completing school from Philippi High School, he attended the West Virginia Wesleyan College in Buchanan, West Virginia, and was a member of the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity. Thereafter, he attended the Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, and became an active participant of the student government. From 1952 to 1955, Cassidy played basketball for the Stetson Hatters. He worked as a lifeguard in the Ormond Beach area in 1952. He graduated from university with a degree in speech and drama in 1956. Soon, he got married and then shifted to Dallas, Texas. Cassidy started working as a midday disc jockey with WFAA-AM. While working at the radio station, he covered the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and was among the first to interview eyewitnesses Wee Newman Jr. and Gail Newman. Occasionally, he portrayed the outer space creature Creech in Ed Hogan's afternoon movies on WFAA-TV. Cassidy was a musician and played the organ at Luby SCAF, located at the Lockwood Shopping Center, in Dallas. His first assignment in films was as a voice actor in 1960. He was the voice of the Martian in the film The Angry Red Planet. Owing to his extraordinary height, 6'9", and his deep, bass voice, he often played unusual characters in science fiction or fantasy series such as I Dream of Jeannie and Star Trek. He is most remembered for his role of the butler Lurch in the TV show The Addams Family. His character was supposed to be mute. However, during the auditions, Cassidy spontaneously added the words, "You rang," in his deep voice. The words were later included in his dialogues and became his signature line. The show ran for 2 years, from 1964 to 1966. It became a cult series, and there were many reruns and films based on the show. In the same show, Cassidy also played the role of Thing, the disembodied hand that helped around the Addams household, whenever he was not playing Lurch. When Lurch and Thing were both required on screen, an associate producer doubled up as Thing. Cassidy was an accomplished musician, but while portraying Lurch, he merely pretended to play the harpsichord. He reprised this role several times, such as in an episode of Batman and as a voice artist for the animated series of The Addams Family in the 1970s. In 1965, he released 2 songs, The Lurch and Wesley, on a 7-inch vinyl record, with Capitol Records. In September 1965, Cassidy performed the song The Lurch on the show Shivery and performed it again on Halloween on the show Shindig. As a voice actor, he did extensive work with Hanna-Barbera Studios, lending his voice to many cartoon characters. He was Frankenstein Jr. in the series Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. Cassidy worked in various TV shows. He portrayed the role of Injun Joe on the NBC show The New Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, in 1968. He guest-starred on shows such as The Man from U.N.C.L.E., 1967, The Beverly Hillbillies, 1967, Bonanza, and Daniel Boone, 1964. He lent his voice to Birdman and the Galaxy Trio and the short film Blaze Glory. His voice featured in the roars and growls of Godzilla in the 1979 Hanna-Barbera cartoon series. He lent his voice to Metalis, Molter, and Tarko the Terrible in the series Space Ghost, from 1966 to 1968. He married Margaret Helen Jesse on June 14, 1956, soon after graduating from university. Their son, Sean, was born in 1957, and their daughter, Cameron, was born in 1960. Presently, both his children are attorneys. Cassidy and Margaret Helen divorced in 1975. Cassidy died on January 16, 1979, at the St. Vincent Medical Center, Los Angeles, due to complications from a heart surgery that was conducted to remove a non-malignant tumor. He was 46 years old at the time of his death. Cassidy was cremated after his death, and his ashes were scattered in the backyard of his home. Goodbye, Ted Cassidy.